live. We back, man. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. We are the leaders in single entry 3 max and 20 max content. So if that's your particular style of play, man, you found the perfect home. Even if it's not, man, if you're just playing NBA DFS at all, this is one of the best spots you can be, man. Content and videos on point each and every day. Trust me, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification bell on so you know when the videos and content drop. You will not be sorry. Trust me. Also, do me one small favor, man. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like button for your boy, man. It's a gesture of kindness that should get some good karma headed your way this day, man. And we all want and deserve good karma. So why don't you hit that like button and get the ball rolling in your direction? I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. This is my starting 5 series. If it's your first time here, where I give you 5 plays on DraftKings and FanDuel that's more than likely going to be in my player pool. I always say more than likely with NBA because if you've been playing for a while or if you're just starting, you're going to quickly find out. Injury news is everything in NBA. NBA is probably the only fantasy sport that you really don't know what lineup you're going with to probably about 10 minutes before lock, just because you're always waiting on injury news. So it's adjustment if you're coming over from football. I know football season's winding down, so if you're coming over from there, man, it's a slight adjustment. Now, it ain't like football. You can set your lineups on Saturday night for the most time. Football. NBA, you're going to be doing it 5-10 minutes before lock, rushing, that sort of thing. You're going to be making changes after if you're really locked in. But let's get to it, man. Y'all know I don't like to keep you long. We're going to get to this starting 5. Got my quick lineup review, going over my best lineups from yesterday's slate, all right? Yesterday was a rough one on DK. We lost the farm. I'm not even going to lie to you. It was an all-out rough one. Made some few mistakes, but it happens, man. This DFS game is a rough one, man. You're going to have rough spells. You're going to have some nights where you make some mistakes, this and that. And last night, I guess I kind of made a few mistakes here. But most of all, it was just my players letting me down. Too much Ja, too much Wemby last night on DK, man. Just did not get there for me. Ja, he just didn't get it done. He got 34 minutes. Bane had the bigger night, and that game kind of got out of hand. Now, Wemby, I don't know if that's a true L. He just didn't get the minutes we was expecting. He only played 22 minutes and gave you 30 fantasy points. If he can get 30 plus, he probably crushes. But that game kind of got out of hand too. So just too much Ja, too much Wemby. I even tweeted him out last night. I was heavy on those two players, and it did not come through for me. A lot of value yesterday, so I thought it was going to be. DraftKings has been, like I said, due to the tight pricing, it's been more like a balanced bill. I think balanced bill won last night too. But with us having so much value yesterday, I thought we could get up to the stars. This is my best lineup right here, 265. At the top, you can see Jaden Ivey. Now, this is where I made a mistake at. I had Ivy and Sasser in my player pool just because Killian Hayes got ruled out. I had some Alex Burks in there just because you never know what Detroit going to do with those minutes. And why I messed up at here, typically I will have a rule set for max one of these guys. So Ivy, Sasser, probably last night it should have been Ivy, Sasser, and Burks is usually what I do in situations like this and just get a max one. But like I said, made a mistake last night, didn't really set that rule. That's how I ended up with these two in the same lineup. Ironically, it was my best lineup. I don't know how, but Jaden Ivey, 15% on. Like I said, I thought this Detroit shooting guard position was an interesting position, especially in this game environment once Killian Hayes went out. So I wanted to get to some Ivy. I wanted to get to some Sasser. Like, just play those shooting guards. Should have got way more Ivy at 15%, almost dropping a 50 burger. Sasser was a complete letdown for me, only 12 fantasy points. Chris Dunn, everybody's chalk once he was in that starting lineup. My favorite Jazz player. Had tons of him. 35% on right here. He gave you 41 fantasy points. Even got to some Giannis. A low on Giannis at 7% on. I'm sorry. Gave us 61 fantasy points. Vooch is here, the other side of that game, the other side of that Bulls Spurs game. 12% on, only 27 fantasy points. Like I said, that game kind of got out of hand and they didn't need to do much. Craig Porter definitely was going back there, 72% on the chalk of all chalk on yesterday's slate. But 29 fantasy points, solid for him at 4,700. Got to my boy Trey Murphy. I told y'all on yesterday's video, man, if Zion is out, it was going to boost Trey Murphy. If Valanciunas and Herb Jones had been out, sure enough would have boosted him. But Zion being out, saw Trey Murphy move into that starting lineup, got him at 14% on, gave us 44 fantasy points, man. And then Sam Merrill, I told the guys, I knew it. I asked I was trying to figure out what risk it was before the game lock, the shooting risk or not. But he came in, only played a few minutes, and then went back, and he was done for the evening with that wrist ailment. So only one fantasy point here. That definitely hurt me too. I had a good amount of Merrill, but it was my best lineup, 265. Like I said, it took a beating on FanDuel. But we got to lick our wounds and get back to it tonight. Let's go see what we did on FanDuel. Now, FanDuel was a different story. We handled a little business over there on FanDuel. Slight double up. Came in 82nd place. It's the $10 single entry over on FanDuel. Y'all know I've been super light on FanDuel. I just don't be liking a contest, man. I do it for y'all, man. This might be my last season on FanDuel. I might just be all DK next year, but I do it for y'all, man. 333. Came in 82nd place. Craig Porter Jr., 80% on, 28 fantasy points. Got the Jai again. Like, if you go through my lineups, you're going to see so much Jai and women. Shit crazy. But Jai, 47%, man, 36 fantasy points. Like I said, let me down a little bit. Bane had the bigger game here. And this game in general just did not do what it's supposed to do. Way under the total on this, man. It didn't even break 220. It was like a 247 point team total. So way under in this game environment. Whole game in general was just a letdown for me. Had Ivy over here as well. I told you I had plenty of interest in those Detroit guys. I thought it was a spot they was going to sleep on, especially with everybody going to Utah. But Jaden Ivey came through in a big way. 50 burger over here. Chris Dunn, 63% on, 42 fantasy points. Paul George let me down. It was more so James Harden, but I'm not mad about it. I was never going to get to as much James Harden as I wanted. It was always, I got to a lot of Paul George once we got that news Kawhi was out, and I wasn't going to get to a lot of James Harden. I think I might have had him in one or two lineups, but I wasn't going to get to a lot of them because it was just so many other guards. Craig Porter, you had all the value was at the guard spot, so I knew it was better plays for a little cheaper than Harden, so I wasn't going to get to a lot of him regardless anyway. But that's who you needed over Paul George. Just 39 points from him. DeMar DeRozan, 52% on. Just wanted to get some run back to my Wemby ownership. I told you I was going to have plenty of Wemby, so I got some Bulls mixed and matching here. DeMar DeRozan only 36 fantasy points. Rui Hachimura got him in there. I figured he would be the starter way before they announced the starting lineup. Once LeBron was ruled out, I figured it'd be a Rui matchup. He got moved in, 23% on, only 24 fantasy points. Brandon Ingram right here, 31 fantasy points. Man, I thought this was the one. This lineup was cooking so good early to start the night, man. I had George, DeRozan, Ingram. I just knew I was about to take this down. Didn't quite work out, though. Ingram let me down a little bit. Only 31 fantasy points at 26% on. And then Kelly Olynyk at 48% on gave us 47 fantasy points. Nice outing for him. Like I said, double up on FanDuel, sucked on DK. But let's get to tonight's 6-game slate. Let's see if we can round back into form on DK over here. Been a rough couple of nights. We're going to get back. We're going to pound the pavement and get back to it, though, here in this spot. All right, at the point guard, at the top. No Luka, man. We already got news for this slate. No Luka, no Nurkic. Still some questionable guys. Those are like the big pieces. Still questionable guys. Gonna get some news as the day goes along. But you know, I bring the slate to you as I see it right now, and I try to prepare you for what could happen the rest of the day. It's a tough job to do, but hey, somebody got to do it. At the top, man, James Harden, 4,300. Look, sign me up, man. I know it's the lowest total game on the slate, but there's plenty of value to be had, and there's plenty of usage to go around for these Mavericks with no Luka, no Kyrie, no Exum. Like, it is just plenty of usage to go around. It's a low total. Houston's playing tough defense, but I just want the guy that's going to get buckets over here. Give me James Harden at 4,300. Expect him to be starting. He's a guy that can get it done for you at this price tag. Probably going to be somewhat chalky, but I think it's very good chalk here in this spot. I like going to James Harden. Yeah, Hardy here for the Dallas Mavericks. I still talking about James Harden, my bad. But Tyler Hero at the shooting guard, 8,400. Love this matchup against the Atlanta Hawks. Pace-up matchup. Worst defense over there for the Atlanta Hawks. No Jimmy Butler in this spot. Tyler Hero came right back and stepped right back into big minutes over there. Expect that to continue here against these Hawks. And a great matchup for the Miami Heat. I love getting to some Tyler Hero, man. Expect him to lead them. Probably get some DeJounte Murray defense. I'm not too worried about DeJounte Murray is a strong defender, but I think Hero got enough game to get it handled. I like him at 8,400 in this matchup. At the small forward, staying with the Dallas side, give me Tim Hardaway Jr. Listen, with these Dallas guys, I'm just staying in the backcourt. Give me the guards because who knows what they're going to do at the center power forward spot between Powell, Morris. It's so many guys down there. No telling how those minutes are going to look. I think Hardy and Hardaway Jr. are going to have the most secure minutes out here. So I don't mind going to Jaden Hardy here and Tim Hardaway Jr. And they the primary scorers. Somebody has to get buckets for this team. They're not going to come out here and only score 50 real-life points. And the two guys on this squad left that I know for sure can get buckets is Hardaway Jr. and Jaden Hardy. Sign me up for both of these guys. Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to be able to do what he wants when he wants. Now, you know he's all scoring dependent, so if the shot ain't falling, we probably going to have a rough one. But he's going to be able to do what he wants out here. He's going to have his way with no Luka and Kyrie. That should be the Hardaway and Hardy show. Sign me up for Tim Hardaway Jr. At the power forward, I want to look at Kevin Durant, man, 9-7. This is my game of the night. I think this is going to be the best game of the night just from real life-wise and probably fantasy-wise. I like getting to this game, and I like the stars from over here. But Kevin Durant's my favorite at 9,700. Come on, man. It's easy money sniper. Like I said, this game should be highly competitive. Good total on here. It should be one of the best games of the night, fantasy and real life-wise. Sign me up for Kevin Durant. You don't really need no breakdown. You know what he do, man. Give me KD at 9,700. And at the center spot, I want to look at Drew Eubanks. We got Nurkic out for the Phoenix Suns. Now we're going to have to pay attention to the starting lineup because they could go Metu. Eubanks don't have to start. But I'm anticipating this Eubanks. But if it's not, they're all around the same price, so I'll just adjust. I'm gonna have Eubanks in here. If it's Metu, I'm just gonna go to whoever starts at this center spot. I think it's Eubanks. That's what we're gonna ride with here at 4,500 for this video. I like getting big value. They should always be in line for a double-double. He's a solid, decent big here with Drew Eubanks. I like him at this price tag and in this matchup. So there you have it, man. The starting five for DraftKings: Jaden Hardy, Tyler Hero, Tim Hardaway Jr., Kevin Durant, and Drew Eubanks. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure going to be in mine. Let's go take a look at FanDuel and see what I'm feeling over there, man. All right? Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. All right? Now, point guard at the top. I want to look at Tyus Jones over here. I need some mid-range plays for what I'm trying to do over on FanDuel. And Tyus Jones has been playing well the last couple of games, man. He's really rounding back into form, how he looked back in Memphis when there was no Ja over there. He started the season a little shaky, middling performances, but he's really picked it up as of late, the last 3 or 4 games. I like going to Tyus Jones here at 6,600. Good game environment against the Golden State Warriors here. Give me a little Tyus Jones in this spot. At the shooting guard, staying with Jaden Hardy, 4,900. A little more expensive over on FanDuel, but I do not care, man. I told you, him and Tim Hardaway Jr. are the bucket getters, so you should already know who the small forward is as well, man. I'm just staying with this backcourt. I think this is the bulk of your scoring for these Dallas Mavericks. If these two shooters are off right here, this game is going to get ugly fast. Give me Hardy. Give me Tim Hardaway. I told you, if you feel like you got a handle on them bigs down there, if you know who's going to get the most minutes, that's where the money's going to be made at. It's some money to be had. If you know who's going to get the minutes and perform better between them Mavericks bigs, go right ahead if you think you got a bead on it. But I don't. I'm staying away from them. Like I said, they could go with Prosper, Morris, Powell. You don't know what they're going to do at the bigs down there. Those minutes could be all over the place. So I don't got a good feel for it. But if you do, go ahead. It's money to be had right there. If you can get that right, that's a nice little value piece for you. But I'm sticking with Hardy and Tim Hardaway Jr., all right? Coming at the power forward, man, I'm staying with KD. 10-2, man. It's the thumbnail. You know who it's going to be. Give me Kevin Durant, easy money sniper, no breakdown needed. Love the game environment. You know, with the stars, man, it's all whether they do it or they don't do it. You don't got to go into detail with the breakdown about the matchup, this and that and the third. Stars are the stars for a reason. You just got to hope they don't have an off night. They can do it on any given night against anybody. That's why you don't really need the breakdown. Get you some KD in this spot, man. And at the center, Domantas Sabonis, 9,700. No Nurkic over there. He should absolutely have his way down there. 9,700. He live for he should walk in the gym with a double double. You know he does definitely has triple double upside, but Eubanks is just too small down there. He should be able to put him in the rim, get to the cup, get what he wants. Sabonis should absolutely have his way down here with these Phoenix Suns with no solid big man down there to stop him. Give me some Domantas Sabonis here at 9,700. There you have it, man. Just starting five on FanDuel. Domantas Sabonis, Kevin Durant, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jaden Hardy, and Tyus Jones. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure going to be in mine. That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.